Dr. Henry, there are a number of holiday events, as you mentioned, that are being canceled. There are others that are wondering if they qualify in terms of the fact that they are done within a vehicle where someone can drive through a light show. Are those events okay during this time period where the restrictions are in place? And what is it about the outdoor events like the Stanley Park Train or the Butchart Gardens that have you concerned around spread?
Yeah, so right now, for this 2-week period, the events order does not discriminate between indoor and outdoor events. So everything is on pause. It doesn't necessarily mean that things need to be canceled, and we are looking at, if we are able to get into a place of control, then some of these lower risk events may happen again. But right now, we need to stop all of those opportunities for us to congregate, to go out and do things socially. So right now, all of the events are on pause.
Do you have a follow-up, Richard?
I do. One of the things that was raised over the weekend from spiritual leaders, faith leaders, was, why are their gatherings canceled while bars and restaurants remain open? So what is your answer to that? And then we're also hearing, and I know you've clarified on movie theaters, but movie theaters operated in BC in many places this weekend, and theater companies were confused. So why do you think that confusion happened when movie theaters were able to operate while theaters shut down?
Yeah, so I can't say where that came. It was quite clear in my mind where the events issue was. So we clarified it today that movie theaters do fit into that. And it's the intent of the order that we reduce those opportunities for social interaction. And events at bars and restaurants, I know they were having like live music events, other things, those are also suspended for now. The other thing we do know about restaurants is they feed people, and there is many important ways that they are part of making sure that people can get a meal. So that is one of the reasons why restaurants are not events. They also have very detailed COVID safety plans, and we know when those plans are followed that the risk is low, and that includes no more than 6 people to a table, no table hopping, wearing of masks, and we've supported that with the order that will be coming around where people need to wear masks in indoor public spaces. So it is an important part of many communities being able to, and many people being able to get a meal.
And obviously this weekend and today, Richard, I had lots of discussions myself with faith leaders as Dr. Henry and I and the Premier spoke in advance of making these orders on last Wednesday, about 24 hours in advance of the orders being made, to let them know they were coming, because it was important to do that, and had the opportunity, for example, to speak with His Excellency Archbishop Miller today, who someone I hold in very high regard, and an opportunity to talk about these issues and why it's important. And there is a tendency to say, look over there, to see these as like a speed limit, and it says 80 and maybe I can go 86. That's not what these are. These are efforts, these are provincial health orders to help stop the spread of a virus that is harming our loved ones in long-term care and causing great disruption in our society. And these are the things we're doing together to stop that. And right now, in these 2 weeks until December 7th, events aren't possible. And I know people sometimes want to look and compare and this and that. I would just say this is a time, of course, when we need spiritual support as much as anything else, and this is true regardless of religion. This Sunday is the first Sunday in Advent, and ordinarily I know where I'd be that day, and it's a significant loss, particularly right now, particularly in our congregation and in lots of congregations around the province. So I know that there is loss, but the effort to get the message out virtually and to have virtual services is really important. because it helps us stop the spread of COVID-19. It's not because people haven't done the right thing in the past. They have. There's been extraordinary efforts by faith leaders, by businesses, by everyone to follow guidelines with respect to events, the maximum of 50 people at events. But right now, we just can't have them in this period. We need to stop the spread. That's the advice of public health. These aren't punishments, they're tools all of us can use to help one another deal with COVID-19.
Binder Sajjan, CTV. Binder, are you there?
Christmas events with lights. Yes. Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah. Just following up on what Richard was asking there with regards to the events. How much notice would you be able to give these events, if case numbers do go down and they are able to open up? Obviously, December 8th is just a couple of weeks before Christmas, so wondering how quickly that could happen.
I don't have an answer to that. Clearly, we are watching things hour by hour and day by day, but we will have a good sense of whether we're making progress or not, and whether we need to adjust. There may be certain things that we're seeing are becoming challenging areas where transmission is happening. There may be need to extend orders. But I am confident that if we do the right thing, we will make a difference. We're not trying to get rid of this virus. We've come to the realization that it's not possible to get it back into nature, to have 0 cases in our setting, because of the movement of people, because of where we're situated geographically, and because of the climate and the conditions that we're in right now. So things that we were able to do in the summer, and we had a buffer, I guess, in many ways, because we had got our rates down low enough. We had the weather on our side. We can't get away with those anymore. So we need to take a step back from all of those places where we come together, no matter where it is, and we will see if that is going to make the difference over the next coming weeks. We will never be able to get rid of all of these restrictions until we get to the point where we're into that marathon and we have vaccine available. But we can look to a future in weeks and months where we can have more interaction if we're able to break that cycle right now. I think of what Pericles said to the Athenians in, I think it was 230 BC, when they were dealing with the plague. We need to put aside our private sorrows and concentrate on securing our common safety. And that is where we are right now.
Do you have a follow-up, Binder?
I do. I just want to ask for a little bit of clarity around who you can go to a restaurant, bar, or pub with. You've said when these establishments follow the guidelines, there is a low risk of transmission. So are people able to socialize with those outside their household bubble?
For this 2 weeks, we're saying stick with your household bubble. And for some people, that may mean 1 or 2 people who they have close contact with their pandemic bubble.